stuff, and we'll switch over. Welcome to Knights of the Square Tablet, Episode 2. Your host, Stridah the Champ here, and I'm joined by the man with the $1,000+ stash, the coach, Soter Dave. What's going on, Mr. Dave?
Hello, how are you, Stridah?
And of course, we got the second best voice in Chivalry, Skadii Games.
Hey, what up?
Oh man, guys, we got some good stuff on the agenda tonight for everyone. We're gonna talk some Chivalry. We're gonna talk some Dark and Darker. I think everyone's gonna really enjoy it. You know, we're so blessed to get all the support. We got episode 1 now on to episode 2. So you know, we're really excited to stream here. I know everyone's been having a busy week, gentlemen. I've been in like that time period. I was dying to get new games for ages, and now I have so much to play. I've been in Hogwarts. I've been boxing. What have you guys been up to this week?
I've been struggling to find some. I've been talking about a lot. I've been struggling to find a game I can pour as many hours into, like Chivalry. You know, I was thinking about playing some Last Epoch as well. Because I used to stream that game when it came out in early access or whatever a while ago, and dude, I've just been grinding Chiv, and I also went on that ski trip. So, but yeah, man, it's been tough to find.
Hitting the slopes.
Yeah,
A gamer and an athlete. Love to see it.
For sure.
I've been playing the playtest for the finals, and it's been okay.
I was watching some gameplay of that.
It really has been okay. That's it.
All the messages he sent me about this, and okay is the review.
Well, I want someone to play with. But also, I've been playing Company of Heroes 3, completely unrelated game, RTS and all that. Enjoying it very much, like it a lot. But you know, it's pretty good.
Look, you got to have some variety in the diet, right? Like, I'd say 90% of my gaming is medieval at this point, so it's good to sometimes get a switch. I'd be down to get into an FPS sometime when the next good one comes out. When that is, I don't know. Oh, hello to Dave's mom.
It's not my mom.
I believe she's wishing him a good cast right now. So,
yeah.
You know, much love to Dave's mom. All right, so on to Chivalry. We touched last cast on the arena gameplays, right? We talked a little bit about using those modes for ranked, and we got a little bit into the arena experience. And do you guys play much of the 3v3 arena? I'm assuming Skadii, no. Dave, there might be a chance.
Listen, okay, I would, but I can't. I would, but I can't.
I was doing some 1v1 arenas, and I was getting, you know, whooped by some guy for a bit. He was just a better duelist than me, and then after that, I just started getting lower level noobs, and I just started trolling him with engineer, and I just my whole goal was just to get him to step into the trap. And it was actually pretty funny content, but that's like what happens with arena. It's like you get maybe someone better or equal skill than you, and then it's just, you know, lower level players for another hour.
Yeah.
My experience is so much worse. I never have gotten an equal skilled opponent in arena. It's never happened.
You're just too good, bro. You're just on another level.
Well, I don't even mean to.
Some
be
of the
like,
people in there are really bad.
I don't even mean to be ego
true
about it. I just have. It's never happened.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
Oh my gosh. I've gone in there. I think that the last time I played, I think I won for like 3 hours straight. I think I told you guys I didn't even make a YouTube video on it. But like it got to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna feint or drag or anything. I'm just gonna counter all their strikes until they mess up, and we'll just go that way.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just like, it was ridiculous.
My friends and I go in there, and we have to like challenge ourselves in unique ways to make it fun. So like we'll have a challenge like we can only kill them with tackles because killing them with fists is too easy. So only tackles allowed.
Oh my god.
Or like I don't know, we can only play engineer. Yeah, that's the only way we can have fun because otherwise we're just bullying children.
Yeah, I understand that. Look, I'm not opposed to stomping some gamers out, but it does get to the ridiculous level sometime. In there.
Yeah, it gets like old.
I would be interested in the 3v3 mode. Okay, I think at least then like having 2 other people on in voice, like if it was ranked, like you get some teamwork and stuff going on. It could be a lot of fun. Now, I've probably played the 3v3 mode, I'd say under 5 times total, and that might be like a pretty good estimate. Okay, because this is what I feel like the experience is in the 3v3. Okay, so you log into the arena 3v3. Okay, except you spawn in with only one teammate, so it's 3v2. Okay, then
Yep.
then your teammate quits because he sees it's 3v2. So then you're fighting 3v1. So either then you have to wait to duel everyone, or you got a super sweaty group who just mobs you every fight. That's one of the first days I played the 3v3 arena. I always found this fun. I saved this clip for ages. I decided not to make a video of it, but I was 3v1 against 3 clan members. I won't mention the clan. And the first round came in, and I whooped them 3v1. And they were really pissed about it. So the rest of the time, they started chucking knives and shit at me 3v1 to win the thing. It was so sad and sweaty. Like, come on, guys.
Listen, but I've played it a few hundred, maybe even over 1,000 times at this point. It doesn't get better. It's just like it's terrible. And the leaving thing, me and my friends, we take bets on who's going to leave first.
Who's going to leave first.
On the enemy team. We actually bet.
That's hilarious. Whoever dies first is probably usually the odds on.
Yeah, and it's so sad. I don't know, man.
All right, so that's the experience 1 is 3v1, 3v2, or whatever it turns into. Okay, experience 2 to me is you log in and you want to actually play the game. All right, and you got people just picking up bones and poop and doing stupid shit, so you can't actually play the 3v3 arena. It's either you do that with them or you kill them and waste your time. But either way, you're not playing the game.
Yeah, and then you guys forgot about the 1v1v1ers, the people who refuse to fight an actual 3v3 match and just want to turn it into a duel server, which makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
And then they get mad at you if you don't do it. Then they call you dishonorable. But
they get really angry, or they leave.
Yeah,
or they leave.
They leave.
I've been vote kicked out by my own team for not honoring it.
Oh, no way.
Because I played it. I've also had people start team killing me for doing it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, like, look, I'm here to play. I don't care.
Holy shit.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
You know what we need.
Better 1v1s in the 1v1 mode. But I feel like there's potential there for ranked teams. Like, it could be so fun. The 3 of us went on there, and we were playing against other people who were actually trying, and there's actually 3 of them, which is a lot to ask. And, I mean, I think it would be a blast.
Of course.
And the reason I don't ever play the 3v3 anymore is because, like, to get that experience, you have to go through, like, 2 hours of bullshit to get one good game.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it worth my time?
Yeah, like, Chad always asks me, like, do you want to do some 3v3s? I'm like, no, man. No.
Nope. Nope, I'm good.
It'll take 2 hours.
The main issue that, like, causes all the other issues is not having an equal fight. Because in team objective, when you are better than the opponents, they don't care because, like, they can swarm you. You know, like, oh, you're good. He can fight 2 people. He's better. He can fight 3. He's better than that. He can fight 4. And that can keep going on until he dies. But in 3v3, if I'm better than you, I just win. I beat you because you're bad. Done. And I don't like it. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for the noob either. So he ends up leaving. I end up putting a 2-inch barrel to my head, and we call it a day. So
yep.
I just we need that skill-based matchmaking in the form of ranked.
That's one of the things with this genre of gaming is it's not like Call of Duty where one of the worst players alive can sit in a corner and he can headshot a pro as he comes around and gets super lucky right before he gets turned on.
Yeah.
In Chivalry, that's not going to happen.
Even if the reason that is because the time to kill. Any game with a high time to kill, the skill shows itself. The skill disparity. Yeah. Like in Call of Duty, if you put up a noob against a pro, he might win like 5% of the time. If you put a noob against a pro in Chivalry, he loses every time, hands down. There's no because even if the pro makes a mistake, he still has a whole health bar left.
He's not going to make 3 or 4 mistakes in a row.
Exactly. Yeah. It's and so it's just really demoralizing for the loser and they don't want to play. And I get that, but Torn Banners should be like kind of filtering out the pros out of their experience so they can level up and get to that level.
And to me, that's kind of some of the appeal to the game, is that there is that higher time to kill. So the better players, we have the chance to turn those fights and not get killed by, the random. If you guys ever played PUBG, like the guy lying in the grass or the bushes for a half hour, like you don't get killed by him, right? You turn around and kill him in Chivalry. Like
it's not better or worse to have a higher time to kill. It's just that's the result. The result is that it makes it to where people that are worse have a much less enjoyable experience if they continuously lose. And there's nothing else to do about that besides give them someone their level to fight against. And that's a very simple thing. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, I mean the thing that's complicated though is the player pool for 3v3. You'll fight the same person like 8 times in a row. So maybe ranked would increase the player pool because people would want to play it more. But I don't think they just have the player base or the ability to even filter those people out. I think ranked would help though, hopefully. But I'm matching with level 10s for an hour and a half.
Double coins on the 3v3 ranked or like a cosmetic. They'll all shovel in there for like at least a day to check it out. And then once they're actually having some fun, fighting some people at their level, they're going to be like, holy crap, like I'm good. I killed this guy. I killed 2 guys. And they'll actually have fun. God forbid.
I can guarantee 3v3 ranked arena with seasons and like a few cosmetic awards would get the people who are already playing it and hardcore about the game. It would get them in the mode and engaged for that season, or at least half of the season. I mean, most people get to the rank they want to, and then they stop playing. That's, I think, in every ranked game mode. But as long as you're adjusting the seasons and stuff, I think that'd be a good way of engaging people and keeping people active. Because right now, without an update, it's been you run out of things to do in the game.
You're 100% right. What I would do is I would change the number every season or so. So season 1 would be 3v3. Season 2 could be 4v4. Season 3 could be 5v5. And then we could pull it back and do 3v3 again for season 4. And so people would have something to look forward to. That could be really cool.
That'd also change metas and stuff around too with
of course
people, 100%. Yes. So yeah, keep the game fresh. I mean, to me, that sounds awesome. So that would definitely get me in the arena.
Yeah.
At least just to check it out. Even if you didn't like it, at least you would be there for a day. And that's the goal. Just get these guys in here for a day just to check it out and see what the game has to offer. Because that's, to me, the type of stuff that pulls people back. Maps do too, but the team's too small to afford a new big team objective map every 3 months. So if they can't, time to work on some stuff that's more realistic.
I will say I was hoping we'd get an announcement of a new update coming to talk about.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It's like we're getting to the time period where I would have expected something, but it's radio silence. Maybe next episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's not low key maintenance mode like I'm suspecting. But we'll see.
God, I hope not. I hope not. I think what do they? When the game came out, did they guarantee 2 full years of support? Was that it?
I'm not sure.
Am I crazy?
I don't think so. I think what they guaranteed is that they would double the size of the game, which they have accomplished their goal in their eyes.
Is it doubled? The maps doubled?
They say so. They say that they doubled the size of the game, and they are extremely proud of that accomplishment. And since then, they have never, to my knowledge, announced like a goal, but they did say that in their roadmap they're just getting started. They're just getting started, guys. So
I hope so. I really do hope so. And as I've said, I don't expect us to get another slasher game up to Chivalry's quality for a long time. So the more support and keeping people in, the better. I know where I'm kind of thinking is, unless there's a Mordhau 2 or a Chivalry 3, there's not going to be a game that equals it.
Well, I think
played a lot of the indie games.
I think Dark and Darker's playtests have actually drawn people into the melee slasher genre a little bit more. I've noticed, kind of, yeah, not as much as you would expect, but I definitely have some people, coming in. they're like, oh, I checked this out like right after the D&D playtests, and
I was on Twitch the other day, and there was a Dark and Darker streamer who decided to stream Chivalry 2, right? Because obviously you can't play Dark and Darker right now. First of all, already had like over 80% of the entire game's viewership on his channel when he was streaming it. And he proceeded to play it, say, this game's shit. They should make an extraction game where I get loot and extract with this game's combat. And then he stopped playing it and never touched it again, by the way. So that's what Dark and Darker players probably think of Chivalry 2 when they play it.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, bringing up Dark and Darker and the genre as a whole, I think is a great segue to our next topic. You know, we've talked about this a little bit off stream, but generally, okay, I haven't been a fan of AAA gaming the last few years. It's mostly just, it's more, I think, about monetizing and selling people things than it is about making a good game. But I was playing Hogwarts Legacy, and like, to me, it just shows exactly what a AAA studio should be able to do with a ton of budget, a ton of workers, graphically, story, the ambiance of it, the gameplay. It just feels extremely crisp and polished, so immersive. This is what I think AAA gaming should be. And it got me in my mind on what would a AAA slasher look like, okay? If someone took the plunge and said, we're going to make a medieval melee slasher from a studio with hundreds of people, millions of dollars of budget. And I'm curious to see what you guys think that would look like, because we haven't seen one. The closest we saw was For Honor, which graphics still to this day amazing, user interface amazing.
Yes.
Everything when you enter it feels so polished and nice to me, except the gameplay I think is terrible.
Yeah. So let me say something on that. What would a AAA slasher look like? What would it look like? For Honor. Probably. It would look like that. Obviously, it would not play like that. It would probably just take from Chivalry and stuff like that and just kind of not copy paste, but have their own spin on it probably. But I do believe that you can't really go up from Chivalry's quality of graphics, sound design, music, voice acting. You could probably do a little bit on the character customization and armor. But I actually think that Chivalry 2 has kind of reached the zenith of the actual assets and the quality of them. You could probably have your own custom engine, which would make the actual mechanics of it, like swing manipulation, work a little bit better and be a little bit smoother. Unreal is an amazing engine for it. Every single slasher in history has been on Unreal, besides like the OG source Age of Chivalry. So you could probably make it a little bit better than Unreal, but that's my thoughts on that.
And Unreal 5 is the new one that games are just starting to get made on, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Chivalry's on Unreal 4.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that would be for them the next step, right?
It wouldn't be that much different.
You don't think it would be... I don't know too much about the game engines. I just know I see on YouTube tech demos and stuff posted, like, this is Unreal Engine 5 and everything looks amazing.
To give you perspective, Chivalry 1 was on Unreal 3, and Unreal 4, that's looking better. The actual swing manipulation and tracers on the weapons, they don't really perform that much better than the original. So I doubt that Unreal 5 would be that much better than Unreal 4 for actually, like, determining the accuracy of the game's mechanics.
Yeah, I think AAA melee slasher. Well, first of all, like I think melee genre games are kind of risky to make, and I think that with having higher skill cap, like we were just discussing in Arena, just getting bullied by a better player than you or something, it's kind of harsh. So I feel like if they did do it, maybe they find another unique way to maybe turn down the skill cap a little bit without, hurting the game itself, which I don't know if you could do a better job than Shiv has in that regard. But I think that's like the main risk with these types of games, right? They hit a high player peak and then everyone kind of is like, oh shit, I have to work hard for this. So like making something appealing to get that revenue back for such a big production might be tough. But I think a AAA game would definitely have way more progression, maybe even more, microtransactions with gear. Gear that you can change individual
100%.
parts on your character, which would be super cool. But yeah, I think that or even like based off, the an existing thing. Like I'm always hoping maybe a AAA studio will make a Lord of the Rings style Chivalry 2. And that would
here we go on the Lord of the Rings ship.
Yeah, and that would make it less risky, right? Because then you if you're bringing in a fan base already into a AAA game, I think that it would be higher likely chance that it'll succeed. And but I don't know. That's a hard kind of question to answer.
On the skill cap thing, I don't think that Chivalry is inherently more like skill based than, let's say, COD.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that because of the high time to kill, you see the actual skill gap much clearer, because it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dueling me, it's very difficult for you to get a cheap kill on me. Very difficult.
Right. Right.
So it's like if one is better than the other, you're going to be able to tell pretty easily. But in Call of Duty, lucky headshot. Oh,
you can always blame. You can always blame stuff on other things. Yeah.
But if you were to have 100 1v1s in Call of Duty, then you would see the skill gap. So
that's one of my big adjustments to modern day gaming is I hate it so much with all the aggressive skill based algorithm matchmaking and stuff. They try to hide the skill gap as much as possible from people, and I think that's why you see so many people posting on the internet about Chivalry, about it's bullshit. People are so good because these gamers have been. Their entire gaming career, they've been lied to by developers who throw them in lobbies specifically designed for them not to get crushed.
Modern Warfare.
Here you go.
Algorithmically.
Here you go. You got a party of Dave, Stridah, and Skadii. Good luck.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare algorithmically tries to force you to have a 1.2 KD, and if you go above, it'll give you harder opponents, and till you get down to 1.2.
That's why I won't play Call of Duty. I played it when there was none of that bullcrap, and you're gonna tell me now that I gotta have one good game and then I have 3 punishment rounds in a row where I'm just gonna get my face stomped in? Nah. Come on. I'm not playing.
That's why I feel schizophrenic when I ask for ranked because of that. I want ranked, but I also don't want the base game to be affected by skill-based matchmaking. And that's so much. I don't know.
Well, I think that's the AAA games. They don't actually do skill-based matchmaking. They call it that, so it sounds good, but it's algorithm-based. And what it's designed to do is feed you wins and losses. So, while it's not 100%, your game is basically predetermined before you actually get in the lobby. Which to me, that just why even play at that point? It's rigged for you to win or to lose.
I like the Wild West of Chivalry.
Yeah, to me, and that's to me how you get the best content, because things are random. So I could go into a lobby and there could be 5 other slaughterers on the other team and we have crazy sweaty games. Or I could go into a lobby and I could just be stomping people for an hour and a half. It just gives you the full variety of things. In the modern games, in Apex and Call of Duty, it's all basically the same at this point.
It also lets you improve.
Yeah. And that's as I said, that's why I think a lot of people, they struggle with jumping from the traditional AAA games into Chivalry, where they're not hidden anymore from the top end of the game.
Especially if you go on the dual service, it's over.
Yeah, I can imagine going in your first gaming session into one of the sweaty dual servers, and oh my god, what the hell?
Just have an engineer troll you, building barricades and still beating it.
This guy's just jabbing me nonstop.
Yeah,
that's always been one of the weaknesses of this genre, because it's a new genre and not an established one like an FPS game. There is confusion for the new players on how to improve. The goal of the developers when making Chivalry 2 compared to Chivalry 1 is making it very clear as to how someone killed you. What did you do wrong and what did they do right? And despite their best efforts, kids just can't get it, because the game is still at its heart very complex when it comes to the combat system, and there will always be aspects and mechanics to it that a noob does not understand.
And to me, that's what's addictive about the game, is every time you die, you're like, oh, he got me with this. I did that wrong.
Yeah. They just want you to understand that because in the first game, for a lot of people, if you look at the negative reviews of the original game, it's not many, but if you do, they all say exploiters, blah, 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 because they just didn't understand how they were dying. And in this game, there's a lot less of that because they did a much better job with the combat system. But there still is that. There still are noobs who say these guys are bullshitting. These guys are doing this
I
and
got
that.
called a cheater a few times. So
Yeah,
Well,
we've all been called cheaters. I already know it.
Yeah.
So that shows you that they don't even believe you're playing legitimately. That's how hard you beat them.
right.
So that shows.
I will say, at least Chivalry at least in the team objective lobbies, it got rid of a lot of the bullshittery. I know you still see it a lot in the competitive dueling and stuff, but at least the consolation is in team objective, some of that stuff where they animation break or a lot of the spinning and stuff. If you do that in team objective, you're probably going to get gambled by a noob. So, it's kind of, you don't see it as often. So I think they did a good job with that. And I never liked how in Mordhau, like, I feel like it's not necessarily always, it's like scary to call it a skill gap. Sometimes it's a knowledge gap of how to break the game to cheese mechanics. And I don't really like that.
Yeah, Chivalry is a knowledge heavy game, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I don't mind that too much because obviously, nearly 1,000 hours. But
Yeah.
for the noobs, that's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough comeback, but I would love to see a AAA game or a AAA studio try a game because I feel like a lot of times the games that really take off are things that are new, right? Everyone wants to take the safe bet. They made the same Madden for like 30 years straight, right? And it's never changed. Call of Duty, always the safe thing. Battlefield is so safe that they try to copy Call of Duty, right? No one wants to take a risk. But the games that blow up, the PUBGs, the Fortnites, they took a
the
risk.
modded games,
different.
games that are usually modded first or built by indie studios with the balls to make something new. We're seeing that with kind of Dark and Darker a bit right now. They took a risk and it's paying off big time. I'm actually surprised how popular it is.
Chivalry originated from a source mod.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think what sometimes happens then is it's like lightning in a bottle, like something like PUBG came out, it starts the battle royale genre, and now you have AAA Apex, you have AAA Warzone, and I feel like if one of them took the risk on a melee slasher, maybe you catch something big again. Because all you need is to release the right game. People haven't played it, they might really get into it. And if you have the right people on board, you get the Doctor of Disrespects, the Summit 1Gs going crazy. All of a sudden, everyone's bought the game.
Right.
So, I
agree.
I would love to, because when I play it, I don't think, like, there's a lot of people who like medieval shit. Like medieval movies, like, they kill it at the box office. So why aren't we making medieval games that are killing it, in sales on the console?
Thing. Our genre, especially Chivalry 2, is not one that's not popular. It's just one that doesn't retain players. We already talked about this. Chivalry 2, not an unpopular game. 2 million sales is not a small number. It's just those people don't stay to play. But the game sells perfectly fine. Those people that you mentioned, they do play it. They just play it once, and then they go away.
Now, Dave, do you think if a studio came out, took the mechanics of Chivalry, right, the high skill gap, the melee combat, and they applied it to like some slightly different type of game mode, you'd have a better chance of success there?
No, because it's been done, and unless you have a specific game mode in mind, it's been done. So, for example, Mirage tried to add it to the MOBA formula, of like push the payload, get this done. It was basically like Team Objective, but on a much smaller scale, like 5v5, 6v6, flopped. The only time that the Chivalry genre has been super, super popular is with big open battles. And unfortunately, like, I might be biased, but the most popular games are the competitive ones. Even the battle royales and stuff, like, the whole point is be number one, be the last one alive, win, beat the other guys. It's hard to say. It would not only have to be added to a new type of game mode, it would also have to have all the other things that are really good about it.
I mean, For Honor's relatively successful, right? I think we can agree on that, right? Relatively, like, I wouldn't say it's the most mainstream game, but it's a successful game.
That's a fighting game.
I always said it, to me it's more Mortal Kombat than
it just is. It totally it's nothing related to Chivalry at all besides being melee.
How it looks, yeah.
Yeah, besides how
I
it
feel
looks.
like they tried something with that directional combat to throw a tad of it in there, but
No.
I
it
hate it.
did-
I don't like fighting games at all, like that, like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Anything
so to
with
me, it
lock
felt
on?
terrible.
Anything
Yeah,
with
yeah,
lock
exactly,
on,
lock on.
Don't even come close. It's not even like in the same ballpark as Chivalry.
Right.
No, I think the lock on in the main mode is what broke me. I'm like, oh yeah, no,
Chivalry
I can't
is
play this game.
more closely related to Call of Duty than it is to For Honor. Genuinely.
Now you think if they put like a For Honor level graphics and stuff, and the characters in like a 5v5 more skill based arena, that would be something when you talk competitive ranked mode. I think
Yes.
a BR could definitely get players.
Mordhau had a battle royale. It flopped.
But
Instantly.
Mordhau's battle royale sucked. It flopped for a reason.
Could have sucked.
I played Mordhau. I loved Mordhau. I thought the BR was hard.
I hate battle royale, so I'm biased. But could it work? Yes, it could. There have been melee-based battle royales, but they were also like fighting games, not really like Chivalry. So I don't know if it would be different. I guess the only problem I see with that is that, you know, Chivalry combat specifically, it lends itself to those who are skilled, and your skill negates any type of gear. So it would have to have a combat system that's built around the gear that you find in the battle royale. Because like Chivalry, if I'm an archer, I'm still going to beat a knight if he runs up to me because I'm just better than him. Even though he has more health, better weapon, more stamina, you know, like overall he just has all the tools there, but it doesn't matter because I can just counter him over and over again and kill him.
Got the tools, can't
Right.
use them.
Yeah. I totally
Exactly.
agree. I tried that Mordhau battle royale a few times, and it was just like there was almost no point in picking up weapons depending on who's in the match, right? It's like you could run around with your fists if you're good enough. But
yeah, then you just beat them because you're better. So it would have to be like maybe the combat system would have to really be tuned to gear. You know, like maybe if you have a better weapon, it just does significantly more stamina damage.
The traditional MMO thing, if someone's 5 levels higher than you, that you're basically going to do like 3 damage a shot.
Yeah, I don't see how else you could have it otherwise because it feels underwhelming to me, the idea of a level 100 guy with all triple level gear coming to me and then just like I just and like counter him 3 times and he's dead.
I will say the thing with skill gap though, okay, I mean Chivalry obviously people have had trouble picking up, but there are games out there that are just massively successful because I think they break that formula of being so easy. I mean, obviously the Dark Souls genre, but like for PvP stuff, Dark and Darker, I wouldn't say is an easy game. I'd actually say the majority of the players die every raid. Escape from Tarkov, the same thing. So I think there definitely is a an audience for people who like more skill-based gaming. It's just getting the right game or the right audience onto a medieval slasher who are going to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Can it be done? Yeah, I think it can.
Yeah, people love item progression, character progression. Like, and that's what like Shiv and these types of games kind of lack, right? Is progression. And like just looking at the success of Dark and Darker, even though a lot of the mechanics aren't even finished, people love the itemization, the skill choices, and that's what's making it super successful. And I think like that's what this genre really needs, is a better sense of progression. And but and in Dark and Darker, you get the problem though is Dark and Darker skill is kind of really reliant on items, so it's kind of like a scale. Like Mordhau's BR was, the items didn't really matter that much, but I think in Dark and Darker it's like way on the side. It's like 80%
Dark
items.
And Darker is all skill. Skill. Sorry, not all. No, sorry, not skill. All items.
Yeah.
All items and gear. Not totally skillless. Just the gear and items matter way more.
Right.
And Chivalry 2 is like all skill, literally no gear. There's nothing to get. It's just skill.
Right.
I think I know we're not on Dark and Darker yet, but I think when they stop doing just play tests and they start going like seasonal or fully, I think where they're going to wind up losing players is the fact that after 2 weeks, people are going to realize that they have no chance to kill anyone anymore because the people who no-lifed it have inventories full of purple gear and all the money they can possibly ever spend, and they're just going to go around one-shotting you everywhere.
Well, what I noticed is that this like stash is actually really small, and I think that's done on purpose because I couldn't even fit like more than 3 sets of gear in my stash, and I was like, this is so annoying. They should totally increase this. But then I thought, wait, I'm actually like completely stomping kids. Maybe this is like a filter for me to not be able to stop the kids too much.
No,
I thought, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they definitely made the stash size intentionally smaller than I think it's going to be to see how people manage their inventories. And I totally agree. I kind of like that smaller size for D&D because it makes you spend. But then it's also like, I can't really accumulate wealth, and then you can't like save a sick item for another character. Well, you can, but it's like...
Yeah, I think they should let you accumulate wealth easier, but maybe not have more room for items. So like, let me store, like maybe let me store my money separately.
Yeah, like gold storing just a bunch of gold sacks, like for half your inventory just sucks.
Infinite
right?
gold.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. All right, go, Skadii. Sorry.
Oh no, that's the end of my thought there. But yeah, another thing that I always stop playing the D&D playtests like 4 or 5 days in because, well, like I'll get my legendary gear, I'll get all my purples, and then I got 2-shot by a mage. I was playing with Reap and another guy named Ark, I think, and it's just like double chain lightning. And we all died, and then we lost everything. So, like, and then I was like, okay, whatever. Well, the game
that has no regard for his own life. It just chain lightnings you right in front of himself.
Yeah, we literally spawned in front of him too, and he was just across the way, and he just chain lightninged us, and we're like, okay, sweet. We didn't have an archer, but yeah, I maybe that's a skill issue thing for me, but it's just like that's the game is losing that gear, but I just think that there's a lot of balancing that needs to happen with D&D.
Of course.
But
there's so many things. What Stridah said is right. Skill-based game, everyone loves it. They actually enjoy playing a game that's hard, something that challenges them. I wish Ford Banner would take some notes. Be like, hey, maybe this casual thing isn't working out. Look at the player count on that game.
Well, do you guys think that D&D should have Shiv combat or not? I get asked this a lot.
To me, 100%. Yeah.
Stridah, go first.
Stridah says yes, so he can win.
Yeah. All right.
Upstairs, bud. Close the door.
Soter,
we broke the no invasions rule.
I agree with Soter Dave. I don't think it should. I think there should be a little bit more to it. Like I like the longsword in Dark and Darker because you can do riposte and stuff at least. Yeah. But I think that like they would really alienate like a ton of their player base or like more the casual.
So let's hear it, Stridah. Let's hear what you want to say.
So all right. So I don't expect Chivalry's level of complexity, but I would love if blades started like crossing and you could actually parry and counter a bit, and there was a bit more of a skill gap than there currently is. I mean, that also then just adds the outplay potential of those situations again where the purple barb comes in and one-shots everyone. Well, now you can actually block his hits. All right, so maybe I can hit him 7 or 8 times and I block everything. I'm able to kill him. Just maybe this might not be the casual perspective, but to me, I would enjoy it much more if I felt like my skill in combat impact on the fights.
So I agree with you. I wish it was like just a little more skill based. I don't want it to be as skill based as Chivalry because I feel like that takes away from the gear. It needs to be to where the gear matters the most. At the moment, matters literally like 99% of the game is the gear that you're using, and the skill ceiling is very low. But I would like it to be just a little bit higher, like you said. So there's a little bit of like, oh, he's using a lot better gear than me, but I have a chance if I'm so much better than him.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on it. But I don't want it to be as complex as Chivalry. I don't want it to be as. I
agree on not being that complex, but I also Like I think something a little bit more like how Renown's combat is, where maybe there's timing based blocks, and even if you only have 3 directions of attacks, and like just something to up it a little bit and make it feel like you're actually in a sword fight, to me would go a long way to making the game feel a lot better. Because I mean, we might as well just stick with Dark and Darker and go through our topics now.
Yeah.
But to me, that would keep me playing the game a lot longer. I know usually, especially this last playtest, which I enjoyed quite a bit, but I think because I was grinding to try to make content and play the game more than I normally would have, I burned out a little bit by the end. I was like, I can't do anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
And again, I think not getting one shot by the chain lightning and stuff would have kept me in a little bit longer, you know?
Yeah. I would say that like positioning is just so big in that game. I mean, you can kill more skilled players pretty easily, or sorry, more geared players more easily with just your positioning too and knowledge of the map, which is nice. But yeah, for some reason I can't put my number on it. I just get so burnt out by those 4 days, and I do grind the game a lot during the playtest. But like by the end, I'm not even playing the the playtest. I'm back in Shiv or like playing something else, but.
It was a crack to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I feel
it's like crack to
Dave
a lot
gets,
of people.
Yeah. Dave also went in crack mode on Sonic Frontier. This is he'll get addicted to anything he plays.
That's not true. I don't think the finals is crack.
Oh man. You were selling it to me, so now I know he was lying in DMs.
Soter, how far did you get in the D&D? Did you like kill any bosses, or like did you have a group? Did you play solo, or how'd you play? Okay, cool. Yeah,
I did not play solo, but yes, we got very far, killed the bosses a few times. My goal next play test is to hopefully get pretty high on the leaderboard for why is he shaking his head?
Oh, because I'm like, that's just unattainable for me and Skadii, who can't pump 12 hours
for killing the boss on High Roller. That's the
nice.
leaderboard I want to get on, just for High Roller boss kills, because like the High Roller bosses had like different moves and stuff.
Did you do a lot of High Roller? I came across so many cheaters in High Roller like by the 3rd day, so that's another thing that turned me off.
There is a lot of cheating. There is a lot of cheating, and I don't know if I personally came across it, because like it's mostly the rogues who are victim, because they're running around invisible, and then the cheater just walks up to him and smacks him.
Yeah.
But,
I think that's what also really turned me off. We had a barbarian just hitting us from across the room with a horseman's axe. I have a clip of it. It's like so obvious.
Yeah, you're right. The cheating is prevalent. It's a problem. I didn't come across them often. It's mostly the rogues who are victims to it.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now, so we seem to be going darker. So let's just topic ourselves a little bit here. So obviously we've all been playing Dark and Darker, and over 100K concurrent, I believe it had on Steam. It might have even been more than that. So we've gotten some like negative feedback, not negative, but I guess feedback on what's not working with the game. But obviously this thing's blowing up, right? Like, and it's interesting because it's not a AAA game, right? Apparently, this is what I love about the devs. They were in a AAA studio. They say, we hate everything about AAA gaming. We're going to make our own game. Fuck these guys. Like, we don't want monetization. We don't want any predatory practices. We just want to make a good game. And obviously, there is something about the game that is addictive. All right, the graphics are okay. The combat, we said, not that good. But where everyone's playing it.
I think it's a few things. It's obviously the Tarkov style is super popular, right? So number one is it's super addictive, itemization, all this stuff, character progression like we talked about. But it's also, I think it does very well, which I loved, was the group play really puts you in like a Dungeons and Dragons feeling scenario over and over again, right? It's like you spawn in a dungeon, you have your cleric, everyone has their roles, and it feels like you're playing like a Dungeons and Dragons scenario, right? And
that
I think
to me was what I loved.
Yeah, and I think it's so fun to watch as well, right? Like all the bigger streamers, their personalities really came out when they were playing it, and I think that's also adding to it. It's very, very watchable. And stuff like Shiv, is not as watchable, I would say, because there's not, as funny moments. There's your personality has a big chance to come out when you're playing Dark and Darker. So I think
yes. Also, it's free.
It's free. Yeah. Right now.
Thing.
Yeah.
Big thing
is play. Let's go.
Yes, if it is free, that is a huge thing for it getting over 100,000 concurrent. When it's for sale, I doubt it'll break 100,000 concurrent. Like, I think it could. I really do.
Yeah.
I think when it releases, it will 100%.
And
if they drop it for
after that. Yeah,
Reap made a good point. The VoIP was incredible as well, with the role play potentials off the charts with the game.
Yes.
So it sounded better than New World's VoIP by 1,000,000%. It even had echoes and where you are. Like it was like
they actually
flawless.
care about the game.
Yeah. I think the
funny thing is,
sorry, go on.
They're able to implement stuff like that such a short time.
Yes,
it's crazy. I think they said from like conception to like publishing, the Goblin Caves took them like only a couple or 3 weeks.
That's insane. That's insane. I think in gaming we call like PUBG, Escape from Tarkov, they're made on spaghetti code. Like the devs do one thing, it breaks the entire game. Like,
yes.
This thing has to be immaculately coded.
Oh yeah,
to be able to add stuff this easily.
And they were taking care of server issues and stuff right away, like very, very professional. And I think that's only adding to its success because, being able to handle that many players with very little issues.
There's a few hiccups.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some hiccups.
Performance and a few other things, but I mean
that's every game though. Right, like when's the last AAA game that released with good servers? Like, Skadii just mentioned New World.
I meant
disaster release.
I meant like the FPS.
Yeah.
Like, you had FPS issues. I didn't really. I had maybe a few, but I pretty much the only thing I had was getting booted out of the server every now and then. But
I had crashes as well.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely had a few crashes.
The only thing I remember last playtest, I remember when Skadii were playing and the lobbies wouldn't fill for the entire time, so you have to wait like the 3-minute time.
Yeah. Well, that was on West, but we switched to East or whatever. I think it was East that was having issues, and then West was fine. But yeah, there was a few times, but nothing that you wouldn't expect in a well-made like beta, of a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's still my crack. I'm still gonna play it. Every
Yeah, and I think I like that they do the playtests, because I think what happens sometimes with these games is if someone just releases them, people go absolutely insane on them for a few weeks, a month straight, don't play anything else, don't do anything else, and this is the whole kill it before it gets old. Playtest comes, you play for a weekend, you don't get to touch the game again for a month, so by the time the next playtest, or even more
that's why it's also like crack to
I
people.
understand that, and
next
I agree
playtest
with you.
there, you're like, I'm ready. It's
I
go
agree
time.
with you, and I think that was incredibly intelligent of them. My only question is, why no pre-order?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no answers for them. I think when the game first started getting traction, because I think, Dave, you and I think played their second playtest, was the first one we played, I believe. And the game didn't, I think, start getting the popularity till the third one, if I'm correct.
It was
and
the
then
third
this
and the
fourth
fourth
one was huge. I don't think they ever expected to have anywhere close to the people they have playing it.
True.
I think they were expecting like 100 to 200 concurrent for the playtest. So I think the game has blown up beyond what they could have ever imagined. So maybe that's why there's none of that stuff. Like, I think they were just like, hey, we're making the game, we'll see what happens.
What's the lucky number?
Like, oh shit, we got 100K concurrent.
Well, do you guys think?
I heard the game will cost.
I think it's going to be $20 or something. But then their shop, they keep adding stuff. So I think either there's going to be microtransactions maybe for skins. But
if I was them, $70.
$70 for a skin. But
70 for a skin, geez.
But yeah, I also like their idea with skins where it gives you like a buff in a something to detract from you. Like the elf skin was +1 agility. -1 strength, and I think that the races and stuff is a really cool idea. By making that things that you kind of earn, and it allows you to customize your character further. Like I was playing an elf barb for the extra agility. Really cool, man. And yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. I just think that, you know, the thing is the longevity of D&D. I feel like I blow through it, but you know, I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's a problem for me as much. But
the longevity is probably going to be fine because they have like the Tarkov system where they can wipe it. And that's when people feel the need to come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think 100%. I think me and Skadii burned out in the exact same day together. I think we're in High Roller and we got killed by a cheater. Me, him, and Reed.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh man.
Like, all right, but maybe if they fix those issues, maybe I'll play it for the whole thing. But
I think you won't know long term how the balance is until they do a longer play test.
Right.
But I can definitely look. You can see the problems starting of like the gear gap, which, as I said, I have the feeling the majority of the players who play it survive maybe 10% of their raids. Just if you look at the kill feed while you're playing.
They released some stats. I think it said like over 60% of players actually escape.
Each dungeon?
Some number like that. Yeah, I think so.
I would like to see that. I would like. I don't think. I think that sounds accurate. Yeah.
They released literally dozens of stats, and I would go on their Discord and check it out because if I read it correctly, I think it said like the majority of players escape every round.
Wow, I'm so surprised by that because if you look at my kill feed while we're playing, you got people dying to skeletons, mimics. This guy fell to his death. Like me and Skadii are running around the whole map trying to find people. We can't find no one. Where are they?
Well, I think
where are these gamers?
I would like to see that over the course of their playtest because in the other ones, it was a little bit harder to escape, and in this last one. I felt like it was a little bit easier because there would be escape portals that spawn super early. It's like a single escape a lot too. So if you're playing solo, you can get a few things, get out. So, but I believe that stat. But yeah, I also agree with Stridah. It's kind of hard to believe sometimes when you see the kill feeds.
Couldn't find anyone.
I didn't believe it either.
The first playtest we played is the one I enjoyed the most because the map was so much smaller, and obviously you guys know I'm like I want to be in action the whole time. So like we could run around.
I did like it when maybe the first playtest I played was probably the second one that they released, and I think that it was just like more packed. It was you always got to fight immediately, but
you always got to fight. Like, but I thought spawn in.
Yeah, I thought that this last playtest was actually probably the best in terms of like density of players and I thought it was like more balanced. Like you don't just get killed right away sometimes, but I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell.
How it is now.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't mind it.
And yeah, speaking of playtests, we're gonna have another one coming up in a few weeks here, and it could be pretty game altering. Right.
They're gonna add another basement, the B1. So we've been playing on the second level this whole time, right? So we're gonna get B1. We're gonna get the Bard class, I believe. We might get the skill trees, I believe, as well. So you notice there's that one tab.
Skill trees too.
Yeah. So I think really it's gonna completely alter the game. So I think I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised by it again. It's probably gonna be a lot more fun, more customization, more. Maybe, you know, more spells, more shiz, you know, to
killing bosses.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for the level 1.
Yeah.
That's the big selling point.
I think it's gonna be like more of an open area with more people, right? So as you progress, there's less and less people, and you're fighting players with better gear that are better.
I would like it to be like much more chill, like. Weak monsters, a lot more players.
Yeah.
Here. Everyone's talking on VoIP, just chilling, you know.
Yeah, we'll see.
For VoIP because I planned on like whenever I wanted to go for the boss, I would be like telling people in VoIP like, "Hey, leave me alone, going for the boss."
Yeah.
Speechcraft, Dave with the tongue. Speechcraft level 100.
And I think that'd be cool.
I'm so excited for it. I just want to see like some different visuals. Like in my head, I don't know if it'll match this, but I just feel like us starting in a jungle, right? Like outside, like the temple or the ruins or whatever. It's like maybe dusk time. It's not quite night, and as you get closer to the dungeons, I feel like it gets darker. I feel like there shouldn't even be escape portals. It should be dungeon entrances. Maybe there's like one on each side of
yeah,
the,
but
of the dungeon.
I feel like you might be able to like camp the dungeon entrance, get there
I mean,
first.
that's what I would be doing. That's what I'd be doing.
I don't know. I'm excited to see. Well, they had that cave exit in the single player version this time, so maybe they're thinking about that. That would be cool.
So they'll probably have portals and then also have a cave entrance.
Yeah.
I just feel like portals, they don't make sense because how are you portaling in, right? I'm just gonna.
They're
walk
for
in the front door.
gameplay. You know what I do want them to do? I want them to make it to where if you are the only squad left, portals spawn right on top of you.
I think that should happen.
There is no enjoyable gameplay in trying to find the portal after everyone's dead, and then not finding it and dying. And that's
I went
that's
down.
I'm not sure if I agree with that though, because
caves,
you got to keep that in the back of your mind, and you can't just because then you would be able to just hunt and kill the entire lobby and then escape every time. So I don't know if I agree with that, but it could be cool. Like
I will say, I didn't like in the Goblin Caves. I would be the last one left in the lobby in the last circle. I had killed whoever I killed. I'm the only survivor there, and no portal spawns for me. So I just
shit.
To me, that's a little demoralizing.
I would at least like maybe something besides just the noise, because I'll be like killing people, and then the portal noise must have happened in the background, and then they're dead, and then I'm trying to look for a portal, and I'm being dumb. I can't find it, or this and that and the third, and then boom, dead. And it's just so unfortunate. There's nothing more demoralizing than winning the team fight and then dying to the zone. So I don't think that.
No, I agree.
I don't like it.
I agree. I feel like too, like if you went through killing everyone, you should get the reward of survival, right? Like
Exactly.
You've proven to be the superior gamer in the lobby.
Yeah, exactly. There's no more threat.
You get it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced, but yeah, because there's just like so many times where you're watching someone with high level gear just running through an entire lobby, and then for them to be able to every time not have to think about a portal position, I don't know. Also, I think that the mini map didn't show the portals in the correct position sometimes. There's like some stuff wrong there, so maybe if they just made it more apparent where they spawned or something like that might help that. But
if I knew where it spawned, I wouldn't care if it didn't spawn on top of me.
Yeah.
That's true. I will say I'm surprised. I haven't seen as much of the Chivalry players move over there as I would have expected. Like, to me, that it would have been like, right, anyone who plays Chivalry, this would be the game like right up your alley.
Yeah.
The combat's worse, unfortunately.
Yeah, the combat is worse. For me, it's all about the combat system. I don't really get addicted to like itemizations and getting gold and and I think that's a big reason why I'm like, it's okay. It's a great game, but I am I gonna grind it as much as Shiv or other melee slashers? Not sure yet, but maybe. But
I can get very into killing people and taking their stuff.
Yeah. But, it does feel good though. I'll tell you that getting kills in that game does feel much better than in Shiv for sure.
For me though, there's got to be a line drawn though, where like there's enough of a skill gap. The players who can play these type of games can do well without getting like just gatekeeped out by the people who play 15 hours a day. Because like Dave mentioned leaderboards, I just laugh at that because I can play maybe 2 hours a day when the play tests are over, so there's zero shot of ever.
Well, you don't get anything for the leaderboards.
What's that?
You don't get anything for being on the leaderboards.
No, you don't get anything,
it's
but
just
you get your name there, which by the people I've seen doing 24-hour streams from when it comes out, people obviously are getting like there's always going to be those ones. The name on the leaderboard.
Well, you can't.
Clout.
Another thing too that sucks about the leaderboard is that like right now there's just so many cheaters that it's
that's
you
the
can't
real complaint.
You can't even don't even look at the leaderboards.
Complaint's a lot more valid than Stridah is.
Yeah, it's like
it does suck to be like outperformed by a guy who's dedicating 48 hours a day, but
yeah, but
it's the unfortunate reality.
unattainable.
Yeah, leaderboards just
Yeah,
don't even matter.
Something like
in that
ranked mode
game.
and Chivalry
Yeah.
would have nothing to do with playtime. It would just have to
Right.
do with win rate
Right.
at ranked.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, exactly. To me, that's a much fairer system. Even something like League of Legends with Elo and stuff. The person who grinds all day, everyday games, he can still be in bronze, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you who plays 3 games a day can rank yourself up if you're winning those games.
Yes. And like all they need is just like a very minor, very generous like decay on rank. And that forces you to play like, I don't know, once a week, once every 2 weeks, kind of like Overwatch or any other game with a ranked system. And that'd be all. And also that would only affect people with a very high skill rating. So
Reap has a good point here. Leaderboards is one thing, but I would like a stats page, like Chivalry 2 profile in Dark and Darker.
Yeah.
That would be
That'd
interesting.
be cool too.
Sorry, did I interrupt you, Soter?
No, I
Okay.
think we're going over time.
Yeah, we're perfectly at 8:00, so I think we're gonna cut off the official episode here. I think we'll be back in 2 weeks. I know I have some topics in my head planned. There's been a few medieval games and stuff that have released recently that we can talk about. I mean, I feel like the topics on Chivalry are virtually endless in my mind right now. But let's pray for that tweet coming out from Torn Banner with some new content that we could really dive into and talk about. But
another one too is
until
PAX
then.
Day. PAX Day, you should check out. Sorry.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I saw the YouTube trailer. It looks so good.
Yeah, it looks
so
like it's
good.
got potential, but we'll see.
I definitely think
I need to do more
that's
research on
something
it.
We can talk
Come on
about.
now, guys.
Yeah, I want to talk about the MMO games maybe next stream a little bit. Gloria Victis just came out. Mortal Online 2 was out for a while. Games that on paper they should be my game, right? And,
Right. But
PAX
always
Day,
in practice, there's more to
PAX
it.
Day looks like it could be something on paper too. So we'll see what it comes looking at. But yeah, we're gonna open the floor here if anyone's got some questions for us and start talking in their chats for a little bit before I know I'm gonna hop into some Shiv lobbies in a little bit. Start whooping some people. All right, Skadii, maybe I'll send you if you guys want to. I'll send you.
Yeah. Shoot me an invite.
Keep the party going. All right, let's see. All right, question number 1. Why is Dave's mustache so sexy? That's $1,000+ mustache right there.
Yes, actually,
gentlemen.
$1,500.
$1,500 stash right there, Dave. I don't know. Why is it so sexy, brother?
Well, you know, since Turkey Truck had to chop it all off and regrow it, and I've been thinking, like, you need a mustache worth selling. So I only use the best creams and the most exquisite assortment of nuts and
Holy shit.
and arrangements to make sure that it looks as lovely as possible. And also, I can't grow a beard, so God had to bless me with something else.
I will say it looks more well kept than the shaved one. I think it's really gone next level from what I see. You know? Someone definitely bought him the Manscaped like 3.0 or whatever. You know?
I had a question from last week, which was, what do you guys think about teabagging in Chivalry 2?
Oh my god, yes.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Some people wanted that question answered. I think it's a sign of respect for me. If someone's teabagging,
there's two
teabagging
types
you,
of teabagging.
you've won, even though you've lost the battle. You won the war because
There's 2 teabags. There's haha you lost, and you know, like huzzah I've won, right?
yeah.
So those are the 2 types of teabags. Now my teabags are like, yeah, I won, not like haha you lost. Haha you lost is mean. You should still be able to do it, but the other one is what I do.
Yeah.
Look, there are things to get mad at. I feel like teabagging is not one of them. I could give a shit. And what I always tell, sometimes the chat will get mad if someone teabags me, but I'm like, look, let them have their moment. They got to kill on me. Let them have their moment. You know, they'll go home. Mom, I killed Stridah in lobby, and I teabagged them. Let them have it.
Ziggy said it great in his guide. He said that guy that's just like swinging the Danax over and over again. He just killed that just like killed you by being an idiot. He just got a kill on that really tough guy, and he's having the best day of his life.
Exactly. So let them enjoy it. And,
Yeah.
Look, there are people who go crazy about getting teabagged, which it's always hilarious. My chicken legs will do this. Is chicken legs doesn't put as much effort into learning Shiv as the rest of us, so he sometimes struggles in the fight. But he'll be losing a fight, Okay, if someone comes and like backstabs a guy, then he'll teabag them in a fight he was losing, just to like show him a little extra what's up, and it makes people go ballistic. Makes them go ballistic. All right, let me see what I got. They want to name Dave Stash.
Ew.
I don't know. Someone more creative than me. I'm open to suggestions here.
Soter Shave.
Soter Shave. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I thought of.
I'm gonna see what the chat comes up with here. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, we got Mayhem in the chat. Mayhem must be staying up late tonight. Jester said, "Let him get it out with the bag instead of toxic chat comments." Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's better.
What do you think of when someone kills you and they say "sit" in the chat?
I have my chat turned off, so I'm sure I get that a lot. But I just have stopped. Well, like I usually only play while streaming, so I have to have it off.
Usually, I found the most times people have shit talked me in public lobby. It's usually just like complete fools, and you know what? I'm gonna post your shame to YouTube after. Then I beat the brakes off.
Yeah,
of you
people
for the next 30 minutes.
People love slaying TTV Andes like myself, which is fine, dude. I'm fine if they're.
I killed a hacker the other day.
Oh yeah, you did tell us that.
Yeah. He had his way with me afterwards.
Oh no, I've never seen one in Shiv, so
I've only seen one, but
we have a serious question from Sunder that I have to take. I know he's been waiting, and he kept with the rules of under 2-sentence typing only from Sunder. You know, he's known for putting like complete books in my chat. So how much do you think cosmetic progression in Chivalry 2 would benefit the game? They clearly took notes from COD and undermined every note they took. Okay, cosmetics. Do you think it would be cosmetic progression? Do you think it would benefit the game?
Yeah, I think it would be just like, you know, we were just talking about Dark and Darker's kind of progression with gear and stuff is super important. You look different when you have better gear. You look more badass. But in Shiv, I really think it would have more impact if it wasn't so class-based. That's just my opinion. I know maybe people would disagree in the class. The class-based look is very it is important. But I think I think it would be great for the game, man. I think it would you know, instead of just purchasing a skin, the coolest one should be earned from doing certain achievements in the game. I think it would keep people in the game longer because they're getting their gear and you know, marking off all those checkboxes of playing, and I don't know. I think it would.
I agree. I think people will stay playing something when they have a goal to accomplish, right? Like goals keep people in things, whether it's
and looking cooler than the other guy. You got to look cooler.
Yeah, look, that's a goal. Get the skin that makes you look like a badass. That's a good goal to have, right?
Here's why I disagree with you guys, because I think that what you guys are proposing is better, like for the game, but the thing is they're not capable of that because they cannot produce enough cosmetics to the point where you do not have access to something because of skill, or you don't have access to something because it's not available at this time. That's why the battle pass is open forever and doesn't have a time limit, because they know that, okay, if we don't have this, then we just didn't, like for a new guy coming in, there's less cosmetics in the already tiny pool. So assuming that this was a game that was made like, you know, by a bigger studio who pumps out more than 2 armor sets an update, then sure.
That's kind of how I took the question though too. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I think what they do now works for them.
I never understood. Maybe this is because I have no experience in like actually coding games or anything, but I never understood how the cosmetics take so long. Like I feel like that should be quick. No,
they have
look, so I have a Fortnite account. I have a Fortnite account. They pump those shit out daily.
They have a long process, and for Fortnite, it's different. Fortnite, they make skins off of things that already exist a lot of the time. And also, they're a much bigger company. For Chivalry, they start with concept art, and then they move on from that concept art to like multiple phases of testing and seeing what looks good, and then they make something. There's so many checks that it has to go through to where these armors, they cost like upwards of probably over $1,000 each to produce. And so it's a really long, egregious process, and sometimes it ends up just looking bad anyway, which sucks. And that's why it takes so long. And they have to not have that many people that actually can do it too. Otherwise, we would be getting more than 2 an update.
If skins turn out bad, though, I think that's also got to be your hiring process there. Like, if an artist turned out a bad work for me, I wouldn't hire them again. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they're most likely employees.
A good artist will consistently produce top end work.
Well, I think with the amount of people that they hired, you would think that they would be pumping out more, right? Like we talked about last time, they now have 80 employees. So like
80 custodians.
Oh my gosh, Reapith just slayed people in my chat. He said, "Remember the community skin they had for the War Axe? The poll was in September of last year. We still haven't gotten it."
Yeah, no,
we're working on it. We're working on it.
Exactly. The whole thing. I don't even want to talk about the employee thing because it just gets my brain turning. What do those employees do?
Yeah.
I hired 60 people. What department do they work in?
They're all HR.
They're all HR.
Yeah,
they're all HR.
Marketing.
Have you guys ever seen or played Hellish Court?
I've seen it. I haven't played it yet though. Yeah.
It's really good. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's definitely niche, but like the level, it feels AAA.
Is there multiplayer in it?
Yes, but you have to jump through hoops to do multiplayer.
Okay, yeah.
But if you look at the game, it looks AAA. Like it feels so immersive. Every attention to detail. It was made by one person who works in his bed on his laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's everyone doing all day? You know?
Okay, look, Stridah, this is Canada we're talking about. Okay, they are not known for much.
I gotta move there then if it's a little bit better of a work-life balance.
I think that Torn Banner unironically allows 8 weeks paid vacation.
All right. Yep. You just sold me on going over there for work.
Dude, it's
actually,
crazy.
I probably get more than that.
Maybe 6. I don't know. They have some crazy
benefits
like that.
That's like all of Canada for sure. It's they've got some really good employee benefits.
Jamie's swearing that they're on to the next game already.
If that's the truth, put an end to me.
Yeah, you will Soter, like you said last time. It's unethical. It's unethical.
It's totally unethical.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I think they are though. To be honest, I think
you can't work on another game when people in your third game can't even start a party together. That's like that. There's an order of like steps that you take.
Who will believe what's on the back of the box if you don't like make good on what's on the back of the box of the last game?
Yes.
All right.
Until a year into release, we couldn't even play with our friends on console. A year. It took a full year. People don't remember that. It took one whole year for console players to be able to play with PC players on a game that was advertised as crossplay. I'm already getting angry. Kick me off this podcast.
Jamie said at some point you count the losses and move on. I mean, possible. But,
possible. I mean, I've already said this before. If they release
that's a big L to take right there.
Yes, if they release Mirage 2, all is forgiven. Dave is almost
Dave is like one of the 7 people who wants to play Mirage 2. I never even knew Mirage was a game.
I didn't know about it until a year ago.
They deleted it off their website.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh man.
And Mayhem and all the boys are definitely saying customization on that topic need some improvements. They want better customization, more customization.
You guys aren't happy with the pineapple gear from the Tunisians? Come on.
Oh man. I always say, I mean, you can get so lost in Mordhouse customization. Like you see people posting on the internet. Like,
you can make a
crazy
character.
Custom armors they make. Yeah, like
that's what I really like about it.
There are probably people who spend 10s, 20s, 30s hours just making like crazy characters. It's
okay.
Cool.
So I don't want. We already talked about this, but I want Chivalry to be Mordhouse. I don't want that. I don't want.
I
them
agree.
I like the system they have.
I'd love to take parts from Mordhouse.
Yeah. It just needs to be better.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just like I don't mind the class-based stuff. Just make it more, and maybe I can, modify individual parts of my armor. I would be happy.
I can say this for a lot of aspects of the game. Just copy what Chivalry 1 did. You'll be fine.
Yep.
Oh my God, Dobby wants to know when the flail is.
Tomorrow. Remember that? Do I need to get the picture out?
Yeah. Put the picture up, Dave.
No, then everyone's gonna think that there's
Put the picture up. All right. No, if you guys haven't seen Torn Banner's last roadmap update, Dave, if you
Yeah. Let me see.
He's trying to find it.
Flipped. There's the flail.
All right, their last 2023 update. The flail.
Totally legit,
or
dude.
beyond.
Definitely not photoshopped. Definitely not photoshopped.
Totally legit. New flail coming tomorrow.
At some time.
Tomorrow.
Before the game, before we end support, flail coming.
Gosh,
man.
it's really sad. I think we can expect to hear about a new update maybe a month from now. I think that sounds realistic.
I feel like we passed the time we should have heard something.
Of course.
At this point, I'm
it's almost done with Q1. Q1's almost over.
I'm starting to expect now at this point 2 updates this year.
Mm-hmm.
We said before that'd be fine if the updates were like goated. Like if
Yeah.
they were really
I don't expect 2 goated updates.
Okay then.
I expect maybe 2 like Galen Court updates.
Galen
Court.
Sorry. Whatever. I keep calling. I call the stupid stronghold.
I think you're gonna get some fake strongholds, Stridah.
Yeah. That map is so trash. I can't even learn the name. So, but
God.
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. The Tanoja update is an outlier that will never be replicated in the amount of content added.
No, because I genuinely believe all of that content was made before the game even released.
And it was saved for Steam release.
Yes, I genuinely believe that they've been working on that since the release.
Oh my gosh, people are calling for greatsword buffs in the chat. Well, I don't
Not
know.
our department.
I don't know. The greatsword is pretty good. All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna start heading over into game. Anyone wants to join me? You know,
yeah. Give me a minute and I'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be right back.
I might join you guys later, but at the moment, I have to tend to my B team's match. I have to watch them play.
Oh Jesus!
Like looking at Little League.
Coaching life.
It is the coaching life. You know how it is.
Alrighty, guys.
Man, I wouldn't want to get a tough post game talk from the coach, but all right, boys. Skadii, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Have a good one, gentlemen.
I'll be right back. Love to all. We're gonna start killing.
For sure. Peace out.